Phoebe getting 3 teams, but not a bad idea. Caldarius, rather than coming to her support, is trying to get that Supercharger in. And now,
You caught that.
that was almost a wonderful play by
That
Phoenix.
was shameful.
Incoming badass! Oh, hold on. No, it's MentalMars.
Oh, I am so excited. Welcome, everybody, to the Gearbox Show. Why not? We just call it the Gearbox Show.
Sure.
Live from Gearbox Studios. I am your host, Elisa Melendez, new media manager, and I am so blessed to be here with Brian Thomas.
Hello.
Hello. As well as the incomparable.
The other Brian Thomas.
The incomparable, the one, the only, Randy Varnell. This is where we would do applause, canned applause, if we had a studio audience, which we do not. But that is up to you to provide the applause. Excellent.
I'm applauding.
Yay, yay. And then Meredith is slightly in this direction, helping us out, holding it down in the chat. Shout outs to everybody in the chat for hanging out with us today. We are super, super excited to finally talk about something that we've heard inklings of for a hot minute.
Battleborn. Supercharge.
That too.
That too. So let's go ahead and get started. But first, one thing that we did want to have a little bit of a chat about was a couple of weeks ago, we announced a whole thing called the free trial.
That's right.
Right? Can we give a little recap for folks that might have somehow
Yeah, absolutely. I
missed
know
the
there's been
news?
some questions and a little bit of confusion about it, but just want to clear it up for anybody who still has lingering thoughts about that. It's the Battleborn free trial. That means
Yes.
Battleborn is free multiplayer. All of the multiplayer modes are free on every platform. PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4. You can download it, you can find it there, you can play it for free. It doesn't run out. This is an indefinite trial. As long as Battleborn's around, this trial is going to be around as far as we know until further announcement. There's not a time limit. There's not a level cap. You can jump in and play Battleborn multiplayer with everybody on the platform for free. We have character rotations every week, so if you're a free player, there are at least 6 characters that will be freely available to you. We'll rotate those out every week. And there's lots of other things for you to jump in and play with. If you rank up your account, if you rank up your characters and all that progress is held over, even if you decide to upgrade to the full game.
Yep.
So you get that, you don't lose anything. Any loot that you get, any packs that you buy, any skins that you acquire, all of that is yours in the Battleborn free trial. So if you have not yet tried it out, or you have friends that have not heard about Battleborn, get them in. Get them some codes. Shoot them the link. Bring them in, and we'd love to see you guys jump in and play some Battleborn with us.
Yes, and it is unlimited. Play multiplayer as long as
That's right.
you want.
Yep.
And enjoy awesome free character rotations. Do we have any? This is a kind of question that I did not necessarily prepare you for, but do we know what characters we might expect this week?
Oh gosh, I wish you would have prepared me for that.
That would have been a good question to know in advance.
So I will
just
say
came
that
up
there's
in my
as
head.
always, there are, in fact, Meredith does a great job of updating on our websites, and you'll see also the battle plans that'll come out every week. Every Thursday, we will announce the new characters that are out in rotation that week, and then what you can look forward to the next week. So we'll always give you a week's notice on what's coming and what's out this week. I'm pretty sure that Oscar Mike is one of them because I think I put him on the first 3 weeks. Oscar Mike is
nice.
one of the kind of easiest to pick up and handle characters. I can't even remember. There are a few others, but there's definitely 6 characters out there, and we try to get a balance of characters. There are definitely some ranged attackers. There's usually a melee character. There'll be at least one support character, one defender character, the big kind of tanky characters, and then a mix of all of the factions available every week. So we'll change that out. So a good chance to come in and check the characters out and grow them up, level them up, and master them. Can't wait to see you there.
Awesome. Excellent. Anything you want to add?
And if you are playing the free trial and you do want to play single player or co-op, you can just click the upgrade button. It'll upgrade you to the full version of the game. I
Right.
think it'll instantly unlock all the characters for you. And
Yeah, the full upgrade version of the game, when you upgrade to that, you get several great things. One is it unlocks the first 25 characters. We have 30 characters available in Battleborn. It'll unlock the base 25. There are 5 characters that came out with our DLC missions that we hold back apart from that. But you can get those first 25 characters. You can also unlock all of the story missions.
Yes.
So if you want to play through the campaign of Battleborn and find out what it is to defend the last star in the entire universe, upgrade to the story mission, get that. Also a great place if you like to complete challenges or you like to unlock loot and gear. We have tens of thousands of pieces of gear in Battleborn. And the story missions are one of the best places to go and play that. As well, when you unlock the full version, you get unlimited access to private matches. So if you want to practice, if you want to spin up a server by yourself, just you and your friends and all of that, free trial players can get those through our marketplace. You can get temporary access to that there, but full upgrade gets you unlimited access to the private matches as well. So lots of other stuff in there to dig around. I won't go in all of it. Those are the highlights.
Yeah.
A great value, a great way. If you like the game at all, I would strongly recommend upgrading to that free trial. It really is a lot of content in there for not a lot of money.
Yeah. And the free trial is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of the Battleborn experience.
Absolutely.
So it's great deal, and we hope to see you there. Awesome. Now one cool thing that, if you have the free trial, you're going to be able to experience this coming in a few days. This is some other kind of upcoming content that we might have teased a couple of weeks ago.
yeah.
So we're looking for the right opportunity to drop this. Obviously, this week we've got Supercharge. We're going to talk about just a minute, a big brand new mode that will be around a lot. But we are still working on kind of some fun ways just to kind of have a different Battleborn experience, mix it up a little bit. So we have 2 kind of what we call special queues, weekend event queues that'll come up. One is Tank Yankers, and the other one is Rocket Brawl. You see kind of the videos of those shown here. Tank Yankers is, it's actually Rocket Brawl right now. When it switches back, Tank Yankers is a big lava pit, and you'll get to play as Galt, Shannon Aurochs, Boulder, or Montana. We set you at level 10 in the match, and we pick your helix for you, basically emphasizing all dashes and grabs and knockbacks and all that. You aren't going to be able to kill players through normal means. You've got to knock them off. So it's really fun as you fight over one capture pad. The video that's on right now is Rocket Brawl. Everybody gets to play as our favorite flyer, Benedict, with ridiculously low cooldowns and high rocket damage. So basically, enough cooldowns that Benedict can stay airborne the entire match, and rockets that pretty much will one-shot any other Benedict when you hit them. Both of those modes are kind of ridiculous, crazy fun, and you'll be able to see them very shortly on one of our special weekend events.
Yeah, but they make some nice light experiences to play on a weekend. Get some steam off, have a fun little side experience. I also want to point out these were made by our what we call cogs at Gearbox.
Cool.
So we have a program for those of you that are interested in getting into the industry, but perhaps don't have a resume built up. If you go to gearboxsoftware.com careers, there's a link about our COGS program, and it stands for Contractors of Gearbox. And it's basically an opportunity for young and new talent to come in, work with us for a little while, usually on something focused, and hopefully get a foot into the industry. So these modes were actually made by some of our cogs in the past, so I'm really excited that they were able to come in and actually really contribute to the team and make some really fun experiences and get their careers off to a good start. So if that sounds interesting to you, again, you should go hit gearboxsoftware.com/careers.
Awesome, excellent. Thanks for the plug. And also, I have some breaking news. Breaking news coming in hot from the one, the only Anthony Nicholson. We do have some news on the current rotation, on the upcoming rotation.
So is that it right here?
Yes, that
All right,
it is.
so the 6 characters this week, Kid Ultra, a really awesome kind of support with a pretty high damage and some stun, some good team play. One of his big features is throws these drones he can attach to other players that heal them up or can increase their attack speed. Really neat support character. Kelvin, one of our best initiator tanks in the game. Kelvin can use an ability called Sublimate to turn himself into a ball of of frost, or I was going to say fluff, but he's not really fluffy.
He's not really fluffy.
And fly around and stun other enemy opponents. Arendi, one of my favorite damage dealers, of course, the crazy Chaos Witch. Oscar Mike, one of our best attackers. Wrath,
The best character in the game.
Oh.
Samurai Ninja Katana Vampire, I think, is a laser
It's a
sword.
good way
yeah.
of summing it up.
One of our great swordsmen, dual swords, a really awesome melee character. And then last but not least, Reyna, who's another support character. Reyna specializes, looks very much like our own Lisa here, has the same two-tone hair, awesome looking. Reyna's amazing addition to any team, being able to overshield on a whim. Any player there can really make a difference in engagement. So really great character to jump in and try out. Reyna's a lot of fun. She's one of my favorites. Good Reyna players make amazing differences in a game. They're very frightening.
Awesome. Cool. So that is what you can definitely expect this week.
That's coming up. That's coming up this Thursday.
Yes,
right.
that is coming up this Thursday. So definitely stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I believe that's also for those of you who may have been trial players and upgraded to full game. This is the first of our 5 DLC characters that will be available in a free rotation. There were some questions on the forum about whether or not we'd ever do that. Kid Ultra is one of those 5 characters. Kid Ultra, Alani, Pendles, Beatrix, and Ernest are the 5 DLC characters, and Kid Ultra is the first one that's going to come up this week. So a good chance for everyone who hasn't unlocked him yet to get their hands on him and try him out.
That's very, very cool. Awesome. Now, another thing that's happening this week, let's get to it, because I'm sure the chat is going nuts. Meredith.
Yep, everyone is super hyped for season.
The hype train is chugging along, and it's making its way to Supercharge. So let's talk about Supercharge. What is this mode?
All right, so Supercharge was our attempt. We wanted to come up with a new gameplay mode for multiplayer. We wanted to really focus on small teams, fast matches, and really quick moment-to-moment gameplay. So Supercharge was born. It's a 3-on-3 mode, and it shares some mechanics with other modes that you've been familiar with. So each team has a stream of minions coming out, just like Meltdown. But there's also a neutral capture point that both teams are fighting over. There's one capture point. Whoever owns that capture point, your minion wave that comes out next is going to be upgraded. You're going to have a shield drone protecting them. So your wave will be more likely to make it into the goal. And it works kind of like Meltdown. The scoring is based purely on how many minions you get into your own goal.
Right. So for those of you who have been with us for all of Battleborn over the last year, this is a little bit more like Meltdown Classic, not a Meltdown Finale that's out right now. So it really all is about getting those points to the goal. That's how you have to win the game. I think there is a time limit on the game. I believe it's 20 minutes. Yeah. It's a little bit shorter. But we expect these matches, honestly, the way they work, 3v3. They're very fast paced. They're smaller maps. Probably going to be playing, somewhere between 6 and 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'd say 7 minutes is about on average for these things.
Yeah, he knows exactly. Like somewhere between 1 and 75 minutes. You're going to be in there.
If it's a really close match, it'll go to around 10 or 11 minutes.
Yeah.
But we really wanted to focus on something that you could get in, have a really intense and close match, and get out and get back into queue and start all over again.
Right.
But unlike Meltdown, where you've got 2 lanes, these are both 1 lane each. And in multiple of the maps, in one of the maps, the lanes actually cross over with each other.
Yeah.
In another one, the goals are right next to each other.
Yeah,
so
we're actually going to go through each map so we can point out different kind of points of interest so that folks can really get on that. It's very intense. It gets very chaotic.
The other thing that we wanted, since the matches are so close, we really accelerate your leveling, so we make sure that you get leveled very, very quickly in the match. We also make sure that you're fed tons and tons of shards. We want you to bring in legendary gear. We want you to be able to bring in your best gear set and upgrade everything as much as possible. I'm also being corrected. Technically, in one map, the lanes don't cross over; they go next to each other.
Next to each other.
We'll see the top down of the maps in just a second and can walk through
Brad.
that. But we're being corrected by our wonderful designer, Brad Sierzega, that has designed Supercharge. He was going to be with us on the stream today, but apparently he has the ick.
He is deathly ill.
Yeah, so he was feeling very coffee and didn't want to disturb everybody by spreading virtual germs.
Not great.
And viruses. Yeah, Brad.
Brad
Brad Sriracha. Brad
Um,
Sierzega. Really great
Sierzega.
guy. He's very eager to see Supercharge. They're going to be watching you guys very closely. So if any of you want to get an instant like follower or subscriber to your stream as Brad Sierzega,
Yeah.
just exclusively stream Supercharge for a while, and I'm sure that he'll glue himself and probably give you personal tips on how to play. So that's certainly going to happen.
So there you go. Perfect. And thank you, Brad. Sriracha.
Hi,
We
Brad.
love you and we miss you. Please
Take
feel
your
better.
antibiotics.
Yeah, please feel better.
All right, let's
Okay.
move on and let's take a little deeper look into Supercharge.
Yes. So there are 3 maps.
Three
Yes.
maps.
And there, by the way, these are not, when we put out Face Off, one of the things we did with Face Off is we kind of made a wise reuse of the capture maps that we already had. We
Right.
changed them up a little bit, and we added the special mode that you teleport and you fight the big Varelsi boss.
Yeah.
Supercharge are brand new maps. Now, you may see some of the same environments that you've seen in our other maps, but they are brand new layouts, brand new maps. You have the great things like this awesome robot in the background that is kind of bits and pieces in other maps, but you see it very prominently featured here. Again, Brad did a fantastic job setting these out and giving some beautiful environments to fight in. But they're going to be brand new maps for you guys to jump in and explore.
Cool. So let's check out the first one, Ziggurat. There were folks that were like super hyped to see, like, are we going to get new maps? What are they? Where are they? Where are they located? So let's start off with Ziggurat.
All right, so as you can see, it's a really mirrored map. Both teams are going to spawn in those corners. You're going to want to protect your minion waves. Both of the minion waves end up trying to hit the chompers that are on basically opposite sides of the wall from each other. So the area, the touchdown area that you're trying to get all your goals in, like that is right, like you're going to be fighting over that space constantly. So there's also a thumper turret aimed directly at that space too, and that tends to be where a lot of the conflict happens. And again, the capture pad is going to be on the more northern edge of the map. It's going to draw you away from that combat area. So it really creates this risk-reward thing. Do you want to spend time going for the capture pad, knowing your next wave is going to be upgraded? But if you go and do that, you're going to take away from the fight around where the grinders are. And that's really one of the things we wanted to focus on. With 3v3 teams, you really need to be thinking about what every single person in your team is doing at every given second. Because at any given second, there's the other 3 enemies you got to be dealing with. It's their minion waves dying, your minion waves being protected, the capture pad needing to be contested over, and the buildables. So we always wanted to make sure that you always felt that there's 2 or 3 things that you need to be doing right now, and you need to make a priority decision about what's the most important thing for your team.
Cool. Excellent.
So that's Ziggurat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next.
Next, Permafrost.
So again, one of our snowy maps. So this is the largest of all 3 of the Supercharge maps, and it has a lot of verticality. If you have played in Meltdown and the other mode, which crap, I'm gonna forget the name of the map right now. We called it Ice Squirt for the longest time. It's not Permafrost. Help me. Someone's gonna remember in a second. Cold Snap. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The other Meltdown map, Cold Snap, you remember that it has a lot of kind of deep ice canyons and ledges and all that. You're going to see some of the same things in this. So again, a little bit more separation between the 2 lanes of minions in this one, but still kind of feeding into the same central area. Again, there's a strategically placed thumper turret that's going to give you control, and really great big shard clusters. There are 4 on the other maps. There are 5 big shard clusters here where you can go out and really ramp up the gear game. So if you play on Permafrost, it's a chance to really bring in a loadout that has a little bit more expensive gear. Maybe you're running your more legendary loadouts, your high-cost loadouts. Probably less need for the shard gen type things in there to get more boom for the buck.
Right.
Yeah, and this is the happy hunting grounds. If you're Benedict, if you're Isaac, if you're Phoebe, if you're Melka, if you've got teleport or verticality as part of your gameplay, you're gonna love this map. This is where you can do a lot of fancy moves, sort of going from island to island without ever having to touch the ground, and you can just get across the entire map that way.
I'd say the floor is lava, but it's a big frozen map. So we're
lava.
literally doing the floor is lava in Tank Yankers. So,
Yeah.
So that's coming up soon.
That's true. And Bea was kind of wondering about sort of extra space on these maps, and Brad being super helpful. Why are there, what's the deal with some of this extra space? And that's a lot of where you can find shards.
Yep, those are where the big shard clusters are. Again, they're meant to sort of draw you off from the main path, so you have to make that moment-to-moment decision. Do you want to go for that big cash gain and maybe activate a new piece of gear? But if you're going to do that, you're going to have to leave the minions alone for 10, 15 seconds.
Yep.
So the whole gameplay is structured around those kind of moment-to-moment trade-offs.
Yep. And that's Permafrost.
Last but not least,
Dun, 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 dun. Let's go. Horizon.
so this is the one that BT was talking about earlier, right?
Yeah.
This is where there's a little bit more of kind of almost a yin-yang type of formation to the minion paths.
Yeah, so this is a different sort of play on layout where we wanted to focus on basically the area that your team is spawning on and where your minions are spawning on is also where the other team has to score their minions. So it's a much easier to set up a defense around scoring on this map. But it also, if you really, really want to score, you really have to be more aggressive and be able to push into the other enemy team's territory. This is where there's, some people would call it griefing. I just say it's more fun this way, but this is where you tend to go on the other team's side and take down their thumper turret and build your own thumper turret just to frustrate them.
Yeah, apparently people are really digging this map in the chat.
Yeah, and if I remember right on this one, the Supercharge pad, the capture pad is right in the center of the map there. So again, there's a lot of different ways to fight and contest over space in this map, is all of them. But this is a really fun one.
Yeah. And we've also got super minions in these maps, so if you are finding that your team needs that little bit of extra push, there's one super minion that both teams can use to build, usually in a central place in the map. So it's another sort of hotly contested space. Do you want to spend your money on your gear, or do you want to spend your money trying to get this big walking fat toddler to thump across the ground and waddle into the giant grinder? So this is another fun one because that buildable is right there in the middle underneath the capture pad too. So
It's funny you call it fat toddler. We for I think years before we named the thing.
I will call them fat toddlers until the end
That's
of the
what
day.
we called the super minions of the game because they kind of look like a fat toddler.
It looks like a fat toddler trying to walk.
And it's funny because about half the time we'll have a conversation among designers of the team, and we might use any of like 6 different names for anything because naming. I've talked about this before. Naming is ridiculous. It takes a long time, and we always remember the first name that we give something, which is often the internal dev name. So this mode, Supercharge, was actually originally internally called Musketeers because 3 Musketeers.
3 Musketeers.
But
Nice.
we went with Supercharge because I don't know, because I had a bee up my butt about giving it a different name other than that, because I hate Brad Strzegan. I'm going to let him name anything.
Oh,
Poor
wow.
Brad.
No, but we ended up with
Poor
Supercharge
thing.
as the name, but yeah, fat toddlers on Musketeers if you have to if you want to laugh at that fuzzball.
All for one for Solus.
Oh, that was nice, nicely done.
I try.
Oh yeah, it was. Brad's reminded me in the chat now that we go through. Oh my gosh, everything goes through we had a wall at one point. I should have brought that. It was somebody. We had a wall full of proposed names for this mode, and I think this one was was.
Yeah.
It was Blitz for a little bit. It was briefly Surge.
Well,
so, but I think
If we could have co-branded with Coca-Cola's Surge, the best of all the neon green sodas.
shout out to Surge. It was a brief, awesome, amazing. It was like the precursor. It was the precursor to Red Bull. It was one of the first energy
That was
drinks out.
legit.
Oh my gosh.
Whew.
But we wanted a name that would capture the idea of what you're doing in the map. Meltdown. Originally was all about melting down the minions.
Right.
Incursion is about making your way into an enemy territory and doing something bad. Capture is obvious. But Musketeers, while it celebrated 3 characters, it doesn't really kind of in a single word tell you what you need to be doing.
Yeah.
So Supercharge is fast, as Brian talked about. It's fast. It's supercharged on not only the speed of the play, on the amount of shards that you get, but it has a supercharger that is going to be pivotal
It's important.
in your ability to win the mode and win the map. So getting that capture point, making good use of unleashing those fat toddlers, super minions on the enemy team, supercharging your push is really, really important to winning this mode.
Yep.
Yes. Awesome. So it's cool to be able to talk about a mode and show off the maps and kind of point out things.
We're done now.
Yeah. So we're gonna go home. No, of course not. We can't show you a mode without showing you the mode in action.
Okay.
So that is what we're going to do. But while we get that set up, anything from the chat, Mayor? Can you give us a little bit of a report as to how people are feeling about Supercharge Are they supercharged? Or supercharged?
I think they're about as supercharged as one
Strong
might be
yes.
if they drank 3 or 4 cans of Surge.
Yes.
So
You're seeing
I would
a
say
surge in interest.
Pretty supercharged. Yeah, they definitely really like all 3 of the new maps, and I think they are excited to see gameplay. As Bea is literally just chanting gameplay.
We're trying.
All
We're
right.
spinning up the camera.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It's not how cameras work.
This one's gonna be fun because I will tell you, peek a little bit behind the curtain. I played a little bit Supercharge. You might see some of my action at some point, and it is fast and raucous, and especially on Horizon, Party in the Center was the order of the day. It was great. I totally dig Supercharge, but let's have a looky-loo, shall we? Yeah. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of shoutcasting here and kind of point out ways in which things to do, but maybe sometimes things not to do on a Supercharge map in terms of strategies.
Sure. So now we're in I believe Permafrost here,
Yes.
right, for the first match that we're going to watch out. And we've got a kind of an interesting mix over here. We've got, of course, Atticus, who, by the way, after the last patch, Atticus seeing a lot of play, very powerful. Looking at statistics with Atticus, with the buff to his ability to, when he does his pounce, a little bit more area on his effects. Really, really a strong, awesome, frightening initiator. He's over there with Melka, who again melee characters, big, fast moving, and then Lisa picking it up with Benedict in the back, giving a kind of aerial support there, and that awesome multicolored rainbow skin there.
Which is nice that you say aerial support, because I tend to play Benedict like an ostrich.
Right.
It's more flightless in my hand.
A pretty interesting fast combo on the other side. Now notice in Supercharge, you're playing 3v3, it's very fast. You probably are going to see less supports played here often. Again, it's so fast, you can be back in. The respawn times are a little bit lower than the other modes. The supports still have a good mix in here, but you're really probably in this mode going to want to look at more supports that are versatile. I mean, Beatrix would certainly be really good. She's got some line of sight. Kid Ultra and Ernest, of course, with Grenade kind of there in support. I would take Umbra over like a Purolani, maybe, again, you're controlling areas, controlling territories, mixing up damage and healing and all of that. You're going to see, though, on these maps, because they're smaller, because they have some great canyons and doors and all of that, you notice that both teams are sitting here with some great melee characters. Murphy in the middle took Wrath on the other team. Wrath, really, really, really fun here. Boulder has been kind of seeing a rise in popularity the last couple of months. I had to tell you, these are some of my favorite maps to play Boulder in, because there's so many great places to get enemies, catch them in a dash, knock them. By the way, knock them off the map here, which results in a death, and seeing some great play here.
Yeah. And man, the melee characters like you're seeing Roid Rage go with Atticus right now, they can clean up. Doing really good defense here in front of the minion grinder. And that's one of the things you constantly have to be aware of, because it's really easy to get distracted when it's 3v3, that you get sort of focused on the PvP fights. And then, if you just get a little bit out of position, then all of a sudden the other team's got a wave through. Yeah. If they had a shepherd, now they're getting nearly twice as many points. Maybe they got a fat toddler along with that. Now they got like 100 points. And we really want to see those big swings based upon really good individual play.
So this is awesome. You're watching Roid Rage just trying to, like we were talking about this map, really try to control these back two gates. He's kind of swinging back and forth, using Atticus' natural survivability to keep in the play. But you're also watching some really excellent play by Melka on his team. Yossarian Lives, Dante, our writer who's written a lot of the lore for the battle plans. A really, really awesome Melka play. Now contesting for the capture pad with this Oscar Mike. But you watch, when he's not fighting for the capture pad, he often gives some kind of support. BT talked earlier about how this map has some cool verticality. Characters like Benedict and Melka have a good chance to move up and around and get over and drop down and back. Fighting over the capture pad, still no one is quite good. Well, I guess it's on our blue team right now.
Blue's got it.
And just kind of holding on to it there.
Yeah,
so.
But you can see they've held it from the beginning of the match, and their points, they're just able to hold that extra margin. And having that, that shepherd that's going to keep your minion wave shielded and keep reapplying those shields, You know, in a map where the lanes are this short, it's really tough to take those things down once they spawn. So controlling that capture point for your team can really help, you know, put your thumb on the scale.
Yeah, and another thing to talk about, you know, all of our modes and maps have buildables. We've talked a little bit about the thumper turret there that's built and controlling that. There are the accelerators in the back that speed up your minions, not necessarily slow down enemy minions in this one because there's not as much crossover as there is in a mode like Meltdown. But if you know the enemy team are building those accelerators, it's probably really smart to have a good rover, someone on your team that is high mobility, that's going to occasionally kind of move back into the enemy lines and take out those accelerators. Seconds matter in this mode. It really is fast. It really is about the efficiency of getting those bots in. So you want to go back there and take those out. Nice taunt there by Oscar Mike.
We've had some great matches where it seems like one team's going to win, but just having a couple accelerators built, you know, they get their wave in 2 seconds, 3 seconds ahead of the other team, and that's the deciding victor right there. So it's
shout out to Meredith as a revenue there.
So another note here, Brad's pointing out too. You'll notice the little shard barrels that don't make an appearance very much in our PvP maps. They are all over here, especially down the minion paths here. Exploding a shard barrel not only gives you shards, but it actually damages enemies, both minions and players in this map. So it's a really great way to, again, watch for that efficiency. Find every little bit of damage you can do. Destroying those is a good thing for kind of a range player, a mid-range player to do, just to stack damage on there and watch that. So a great little tip there from Brad Surzega.
Sriracha.
Brad Sriracha.
Now this match so far is like relatively close. It could kind of still be anybody's game at this point.
Yeah, I really think that early play with Atticus, again, getting in there, he's still kind of hovering around Roid Rages between the two gates, cleaning it up. Not only is he kind of harassing the minions coming from both sides.
Oh God, that's
I don't know what you're doing here, Elisa, but going to try to take out that Oscar Mike. Shoot at the feed, shoot at the feed.
Yeah, not doing very great.
Come on, get the point, block the point.
That's a really hard matchup, solo 1v1 Oscar Mike versus Benedict, because Mike has no problem shooting you wherever you go in the air.
Yeah, I do.
Now
I do way
Mike's
better on the next one.
Right now, Mike's gonna have to retreat in the face of a double assault from Melka and Atticus there. Atticus taking over the point. Oh my gosh, he almost made it, but got him right at the last minute.
That Melka dot.
Yep.
Yeah. So now, as a reminder, it is important to take that capture point because it does definitely.
Yeah, so the capture point, whenever the waves spawn, whoever owns the capture point at that moment of a minion wave spawning is going to get the shepherd. So there's a timing kind of game that you want to think about here, because these waves are spawning every 10 or 15 seconds. So it's not necessarily who's held it the longest, it's who held it at that critical second
when the waves
spawn.
Right.
So sometimes you can get the pad and you've got enough time that you can detach and walk away from the pad and maybe come back if nobody's taken it. So there's some interesting timing fights around that.
Again, blue team just really playing the efficiency game all around here. You know, they're kind of controlling the lanes. You notice that Atticus several times now. Atticus and Melka both are going around and collecting the big shard clusters, really powering up, which are used again, allowing them to fully gear up. I think they're trying to play without some gear in this
camping
game.
the door, shameful.
Yep. Oh, base camping, spawn camping. And by the way, you notice that you saw a little bit of their Minrek laughing at the losing team there at the end. For those of you who are Minrek fans, who have appreciate Minrek's dialogue throughout Meltdown, there are a lot of new Minrek lines in this mode.
Oh, fun!
So we specifically brought, while we had Jim Ferranda back in working on some of the Oscar Mike and the Battle School, we had him record some new Minrek lines. So you'll hear some new things that you can be reborn as.
New things that you can slowly be driven insane by.
Hooray! Oh, I'm super stoked. Yes. So that was a match that lasted about, I don't know, how long was that one? That was about like maybe
right around 8 or 10 minutes.
Yeah,
it was about
10
8
minutes. Yeah.
So I think we got one more to look at here on the Horizon
Yes, we do.
map.
Yeah, I do believe we're on Horizon. And I definitely enjoyed playing on this map, the sort of like party at that sort of center point of the map. I think you're going to definitely see at this point. So let's Let's check out the horizon.
While we're getting ready for this, I'll also mention that we actually, you guys remember back when we did a couple of months ago when we had the Battleborn tournament at the Choctaw Festival of Gaming.
Yes.
One of the prize for pre-qualifying for that from both Dunk Squad and Lost Heroes, our two top teams that actually were placed 1 and 2 in the final tournament, where they get to come in and tour Gearbox and hang out with us a couple of months ago. They actually got their hands on a few matches of Supercharge. We played some with them in the lab and let them get a kind of an early advanced look at that. And those guys, of course, made quick work of one of these modes. It's just absolutely frightening to see what they can do. One of the things that I know that Luckmod from Lost Heroes kept mentioning is, and I've heard Dunk Squad say a couple of times, is that, again, you're seeing some verticality, you're seeing some kind of favorite range characters used here. Melee characters are, this mode is really strong for melee characters. So again, a lot of, especially fast melee characters, a lot of ways to turn the corner, to get in and close in tight. Very useful. So if you're a melee character fan, and my lunch coming back at me. And you see some here. Again, we've got a team with Shane and Orox, Melka, and Whiskey Foxtrot giving a little bit of range support. But fighting against Phoebe and a Caldarius. Again, Caldarius, a really smart choice in this mode because he's got, again, a lot of mobility, but he actually has a good mix between melee and range. So he has a lot of opportunity to get in close, to mix it up, and then get out of the way if he needs to. And then our wonderful Lisa mixing it back here with Benedict, rocket hawking her way to victory here.
Here's hoping.
Trying, it's a really great contest right there, trying Melka and Benedict there.
Oh!
Dante just a little bit ahead with Yossarian lives there with the Melka play.
But I think this might have been the second match we played, and I was definitely thinking, okay, this is definitely a point where I have to decide what is it that I'm going to do right now. I'm going to chill on the capture point for a second, and kind of do that for my team. While everybody else is distracted, I'm just going to hang out here.
And you can see just having, the orange team having that supercharged wave, so they're getting that Shepherd in there. That Shepherd keeping those shields reapplied, that makes it super hard to take down that wave in that short amount of space, and that can really be the difference between, getting 1 minion in, getting 2 minions in, or if you're super lucky, you can get all 3 in. But it's also great for defenders because you can really farm some XP if the other team's just sending things your way and not actually trying to get them all the way in, because you can sit back near your own base and just pick these guys off constantly, like you're seeing Whiskey do right now.
Yeah, Phoebe getting a little bit trapped there by the gate.
See if she can teleport out of this.
Yep, she's going to phase gate, and look again, a really awesome thing again. Phoebe and Caldarius both have. Oh, she didn't get away from Whiskey, who has good range and caught her just at a distance, but a good try there. Again, taking a teleport, phasing out just around a corner, turning around a corner to get out of the line of sight of a range character, didn't quite make it.
Blue team strong with the defense here, so they're going to rack up more XP and get these guys.
Yeah, notice them going back, playing defensively, getting their turret in their lane built back up here, has really changed the dynamic here. Blue team started down and now pretty much flopped the score on yellow team.
Despite they still haven't gotten the supercharge here, but they're still winning the point differential.
Right, they're having to work really hard at those minion waves. You've seen you had to
somebody got a minion spawn down there. Let's see, waddling over to blue side.
There he goes. There goes the fat toddler, the super minion, heading to the gate. And if you watch the score here now, was that a blue one or an orange one? That was an orange one.
Yeah, that was an orange one.
It was built. So orange has built it up. If that one gets in, that's worth quite a number of points. Didn't get the follow in that minion. You got some other action going down here front. Again, Phoebe getting 3 teams, but not a bad idea. Caldarius, rather than coming to her support, is trying to get that supercharger in. And now,
you caught that.
That was almost a wonderful play by
That
Phoebe.
was shameful.
Kind of back up and around.
Because I'm trying to point out the different ways that you can take people
die
out on these particular new maps. That's all I'm trying to do.
So
trying to be illustrative.
these maps are really beautiful, awesome playgrounds. I really like them. Again, They're very fast, very close action, all of that. And Lisa, I applaud you. That was a really great thought and
It was
effort.
a teachable moment.
Use that negative space.
Benedict especially has more ability to do that than any other character, and I can't wait to see some streamers and some other players that really master kind of that in and out in the corner of the maps as they use those spaces to kind of harass other players.
This is also a great map for, we don't have any snipers in this game, but Marquis, and if you're playing Thorn as a sniper or you're playing Beatrix, there's some really great sight lines where you can just really frustrate some people. So
Yeah,
lots of different play styles that you can take with your team composition here. So
I'll point out while melee is kind of strong, you notice some of these little pillar areas scattered throughout the map. So if you're a sniper and have the ability to kind of get up there, like Thorn especially, can take some of those jumps and land on some of those pillars and then sit up and kind of harass the lane from above. Not a bad idea. Oh man, a big fight here on the capture point. Elisa going down. Calderia's going to have to move out. Phoebe really trying to mix it up in the middle, but again, just gets collapsed on by Blue, is being chased off there. But again, Yellow got the capture pad again, got a Shepherd up, and Blue is having to divert back to take out the Shepherd. And look what it's done for the score. Yellow's got some waves in, but they really shut down Blue. I mean, here we're coming back to, it's only, what is it there? It is a 13-point game at the moment. And that's really close.
Yeah.
That's even less than a full wave of minions coming through there. Milka having a run-off herd over there. Yellow really coming together and just owning the center point here, trying to keep it out there. Calderia's probably staying in a little bit too long here against Whiskey, who's not having a problem shooting him, as he finally flew down to the middle.
Gets a minion built though.
Yeah. So that'll go down, and again, using really good times. They know that they've got Blue team engaged in the fight, engaged in things in the backfield, and look at that. That's Super Minion going. Whiskey's finally seeing it. He's going to get there, but it may be even too late. This thing is just going to beeline for the gate. And it gets taken out by Calderius. Really great move there.
And if that Shepherd catches up to him, that minion's going to get an overshield on the next Shepherd.
That's a really big wave for Yellow right there. Let's see if they can get that in. They're really close now. They just got to get right here. Shane and Arx going low. Good defense. Massive wave builds a thumper turret. Shield up on it. They're going to get the full wave in. Look at the score flip.
Yeah.
So now we have over a 40-point differential between the two teams on the flip on this. Really great play on Yellow. Elisa, I gotta say, I think you are single-handedly carrying your team here.
Way to put the team on your back.
Yeah, really amazing play.
From all the way off the map. That's my skill.
Clearly, your ability to confuse the other team with your ingenious tactics.
Always keep them guessing.
Yeah, 49-point difference in the game right now. Yellow sneaking in a few other points.
Melko with a good attempt to try to harass the pad using that mobility, but just can't get away from the 3-on-1.
Notice there, again, Yellow using great opportunity. They've got one of their accelerators built in the backfield that really is just giving those minions a lot of speed around that turn. Thumper's down there, but Phoebe, again, is gonna harass Whiskey just so he's not gonna be able to take the minions. And that actually is probably one of those subtle strategies you can see really great players do on Supercharge is you keep an eye on your minions like you do Meltdown. Because the map has a lot more chance to cross lanes and cross mobility, you can actually do double duty. You can watch, you kind of keep your eye on the enemy players, harass them a little bit, watch the minions a little bit. I think good players are going to be really good at kind of micromanaging 2 or 3 things at once, being aware of kind of the lay of the land on the battlefield.
And you'll see some really interesting choices. You know, if you're in a situation like this where you're backed up to your gate, and you know you're probably going to die, but you're seeing a bunch of minions come in. You know, do you take the death and try to take out one minion? Do you try to maybe survive but know that you're going to lose that many points? We're not going up to a really high point count here, so every single minion that comes in is really critical.
And speaking of death, Ripley Atomic asks, is the death respawn timer smaller than it is in Meltdown and Incursion?
Yes. I'm trying to remember how much smaller, but yeah.
Yeah.
Along with respawn really quick.
Yeah, it's not. I can't give you an exact number, but yeah, it's
15 seconds is what we just got on Shane and Arx on that depth right now. We're about.
But we, again, we really, and Brad did a great job with this. We really wanted to focus on a gameplay mode that really focused on speed without just turning into team deathmatch. So it's a lot of moment-to-moment tactics to really keep the game going in a really live way. So, there's still definitely 15 seconds is still a huge penalty to be out because that's going to be potentially a whole wave that you miss. But you won't be sitting at 45-second or 60-second incursion respawn.
Having a little tete-a-tete here with Meredith. Very worthy adversary.
Ooh, good poach at the end by Shannon Orox to stop that. That would have been the game ender right there if that one had gone in.
Yeah, again, melee characters, stealth characters are going to have a lot of fun in the map. Range characters who have kind of been very, very dominant in a lot of other modes are still useful. Like Brian said, especially in this map, you've got some good sniping lanes and all that. But there's a lot of player skill on this map and map awareness where a good fast melee character or support character can move around and get to places without opening themselves up to all the sight lines. So Lisa coming back and, trying to get these, last couple of in.
Get in there.
See if Whiskey can punch him out of the way, keep him out. Good use of offhand melee to keep him back. They live to fight another round. Well,
it's like
maybe
Roid
not
Rage
live.
is going to get up on Whiskey here. That was really diving in on him aggressive. And getting wedged in between Melka and Whiskey Foxtrot. Going to have to retreat.
But he's doing a good job pushing them back to keep them away from this next minion wave coming in, so they don't have the good angle on them. That might be ball game. Did they make it in? One of them did.
Got a player kill, I believe, on that. They took down. All right, Elisa back up with the thumper turret. Again, it slows down both players and minions a little bit as it hits. Melka correctly going to go do that, but again, it's all about choices, right? Melka is having to focus on that thumper turret, and then had to leave the thumper turret alone to go kill the minion waves. Had to split the time. It was a really close victory right there. It was a smart play. Didn't quite get it worked out.
But doing a good job keeping that thumper turret on the enemy team side built up, keeping the minion buildable under their control.
Yeah.
This looks like it's going to be it here. The Supercharged
Ball game.
There it
That's
is.
the ball game right there. They got the control of the Supercharger pad right in the middle. Got a Shepherd in right at the minute. And you notice all three teammates walking that final Shepherd in, really, really being sure that the enemy didn't get a lot of easy pot shots on them walking it in. But I also point out for all of you, who like to think about the modes and the strategies and how close they are and how much of a chance there is for a comeback. Blue team held them for a good 4 or 5 minutes there at the end, right at like 10 points left in the game.
Yeah, and they snuck in about 60 points there when you weren't looking, just because everybody was focused on the other side of the map. So just being able to get a trickle of minions across will slowly but surely get you back into the game.
Again, the speed, the supercharging that you can do with all the things you can purchase and buy in all the game, really I think you're going to see a lot more back and forth in this. Also, great 3-player mode, right? You have 3 players versus 3 players, so smaller teams. I think you're going to see. We've heard a lot of discussion, read a lot of discussion from you guys that have been concerned, especially in the 5-player modes, a big 5-man pre-made teams coming in and stomping. I know 5 people that are really coordinated is a really lot to handle. 3 people coordinated is a lot to handle, but it's a lot easier to handle than 5 players. So I think you're going to see a lot more fair matches here, a lot more matchups of teams of 3. Sometimes it's a lot easier. I don't have a lot of friends. It's a lot easier for me to try to convince 2 other people to be my friends for a match and play with me than 5. So,
Well, that's sad.
we can get in and you can get in. I'm looking forward to see you guys do that. Before we talk about the other rewards and kind of wrap this up, I will talk about a lot of people wonder how will this be presented. It's a 3v3 mode, so you're not going to see this in quick match. You're going to see this in a brand new queue all of its own called Mini Match. Mini Match actually features Supercharge. Supercharge will always be an option for voting in that queue. But surprise, one of the things we're going to do in there to add a little bit more spice to all of Battleborn is you're going to have a chance to play any of our other gameplay modes in Mini Match, but as a 3v3 version of the mode. So you're going to be able to get Incursion, Meltdown, Capture, and Face Off up for votes. You're not going to be able to vote on them all time. You'll have 3 options, just like our voting always works in there. Supercharge will always be one option, and then you'll get two of the maps from the other modes in there that you can vote on. So love to see you guys and hear your feedback on that. I think 3v3 Incursion, I know a lot of people are kind of excited to get their hands on that, going to be really cool. Capture is awesome, 3v3 with the changes that BT brought to Capture and the winter update. Again, small maps, really cool. 1 person per pad or 3 people per pad. There's a lot of neat strategies that come in with the reduction of player count in there. Face Off, still a really, really cool mode, works really well as a 3-player game. Meltdown is going to be interesting. I mean, you're really, really going to have to think on there with some of the minion growth rates that we have right now. Really going to have to think about your playing 3-player Meltdown, about your anti-minion strategy on that, and how you take care of, again, the super minions in the finale phase on that. But it should provide a really interesting challenge to some of you. We may make some tweaks over that at a time after we see what you guys do with it and what creativity you apply to that. But look for a new queue on Thursday called Mini Match. We are looking at all of the queues. We've heard a lot of feedback from you guys, a lot of great suggestions. We're watching the data, we're watching the match times and all that. We'll be making a few other tweaks to the queues on Thursday just to be sure that we kind of optimize for the communities that exist per platform. So watch the battle plan on Thursday, watch the notes that come out of there.
Yes.
We'll talk about what we're doing that and explain a little bit about what we're doing. But again, if you don't like it this week, stick around. Again, we really are watching the numbers and trying to be sure that we are as optimal as we can to give the most players exactly what they want out of a mode or out of a queue in the community. So thank you guys for being patient with us and giving us a lot of great feedback and communicating with us on our Battleborn forums, on the Battleborn Reddit, on Twitter, on all those places. And keep it up. We're definitely interested in hearing all of your thoughts on Supercharge as it unleashes to the world this week.
This week, we tell them the exact date that we can expect them to
It is
see.
Thursday, right?
It's
It's so
Thursday.
today's Tuesday, it's Thursday. So in 2 days, on Thursday,
Supercharge is yours.
we usually I can't remember. We usually go live with our patches 2 p.m. Central Time in the afternoon. That's noon Pacific Time. Europeans, I'm sorry, I have to. I'm math illiterate, so I have to look up a converter to do your time zones. But you're looking at, it's normal patch time around the world. It's what we patch every Thursday and all that. So look for those modes around then with Supercharge right in the forefront.
Super fun. As someone who was a part of those that exhibition and provided some teachable moments of what not to do.
Yep, good play. Awesome
Not
to
to do on
watch
those
that.
maps.
And thanks to all our Gearbox devs that jumped in and played an exhibition match to show everybody off some of the coolness in Supercharge. And don't forget, we have even one more Supercharge map that we have not spoiled for you guys yet. So you're gonna get a brand new surprise in there as you get into Ziggurat. Which I think was the one that we did. We looked at Permafrost and Horizon today.
Yes.
You've not seen Ziggurat yet, so you get to jump into Ziggurat and explore that all on your own without any kind of spoilers.
Yay! So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that, especially folks that might be streaming it on your end. Can't wait to catch those and see what your reactions are.
Yeah.
Super fun mode, party all around. And I'm very stoked that folks are going to get a chance to see it in only a couple of days. So yay, hooray, of course. Any other kind of super secret, like esports pro strats on Supercharge that you want to drop for the people?
If you're playing draft mode, be conscientious about, what the other team's doing, because as you saw, verticality and maneuverability matter a lot in that mode. If you've got a special piece of Founders Pack gear that happens to generate shards for free, this is a great mode to turn that on almost immediately, because you can start building pretty quickly. So if you did get that piece of gear last week, the week before, the great chance to go use it.
Nice.
Yeah, and as BT, just to underscore what we said again, think team comp. A fast melee character on your team is going to be really important. A character with high mobility, which, by the way, there's some interesting choices for mobility in there. Don't forget, people like Isaac has a phase dash. Atticus has a huge jump. Caldarius has a dash. Melka has a lot of that. Thorn can even double jump. Wrath can double jump.
Pendles, the hidden mobility.
That's right.
Great. This is a great sort of game for Pendles, because people get so focused on fighting over the minions or fighting over the capture pad. They're not going to notice invisible Pendles running around stealing the other team's shards, taking down the other team's buildables, ganking people that are trying to retreat from those team fights on low health. So if you do like playing our snaky friend, he's got lots of good opportunities here.
Yeah, a lot of shards in these maps. So Brad shot us a tip right here at the end. This is a great match to steal the other team's shards. Again, there's a lot of big shard clusters and small shard clusters of the barrels around there. A great chance to get your, I mean, one of the things I used to love to do, I play it sometime when we have an organized team, is to play kind of the shard runner. Go around, catch the shards, maintain the buildables, take out the enemy team's buildables. There's some great characters in that. Pendles is a great choice for that. Phoebe can be a really good choice. Caldarius is awesome for that. Wrath can do pretty well on that role as well. But a really great match to really think about some roles and mix it up like that. Hopefully, I think you guys are really gonna love this.
Yes.
Again, a quick match is our mini match is where you're gonna find it. You're getting in 3v3 short matches, some of the best of the gameplay from all of Battleborn. Faster leveling, faster shards, pure adrenaline rush of Supercharge.
We are supercharged.
Great job, Brad.
We are super excited. A shout out to Brad Sierzega for his contribution to Supercharge.
Also,
People are stoked. We're
great
stoked.
job, Kate. Kate also contributed and did one of these maps. So great job for Kate.
Yay!
Great job, Stefan and Morgan, who did the tank yankers, and what was the other one that we called?
Rocket Brawl.
Rocket Brawl.
Which we called for a while Galt mode and Benedict mode.
Yeah.
Internally for the longest time.
Great job on those guys. Happy to see them finally be able to ship those things. So I'm just happy. This is a lot of great stuff that
A lot
we've
of
really
good
wanted
stuff.
to show you guys for a while.
Yeah, literally in Supercharge, you're going to find every kind of Brad ass.
Wow.
Is it too soon? Too
Wow.
soon?
Wow.
Thank you, Brad.
Well, everybody.
And that's our stream, ladies and gentlemen.
And that's our show. But we do not necessarily
Sorry,
want
Brad.
to
Give him a shift
leave
code.
you without a little bit of a parting gift. We're definitely feeling very friendly today.
More puns.
We're punishing our poor community right now with puns. But we did not want to leave them without a present. We're feeling very friendly today, so
Magic of friendship and teamwork.
if you are feeling very friendly, feel free to slap on a Battle Buddies title, which, by the way, this is one of the fancy full bar.
Yeah, it's another one of the new, very much like the Founders title or the Dunk Squad Lost Heroes sets of titles that we gave out last time. Battle Buddies is a full bar title celebrating Whiskey and Mike, of course, the Battle Bros. And then Thorn and Marquis, who I don't think particularly get along, except I believe if you remember, way back to the original Battleborn trailer.
Wow.
The very first announcement trailer for
Oh,
Battleborn.
the slow-mo one.
Thorn gets knocked down, and Gentleman Marquis jumps off a cliff, takes off his hat, and extends her a hand and helps her. So one of the first examples of co-op battle play in all of Battleborn. So in some ways, Thorn and Marquis, the original Battle Buddies, on that.
That's taking
And
it back.
all of you, all of our Battleborn community, you're all our Battle Buddies, and now you can all be Battle Buddies with one another. So get the shift code in, get this title up, and a chance just to show off. If you don't want to sport Founders anymore, here's another title for you to look at. And going to be some more of those coming in the future.
Ooh, okay.
Lots of cool new stuff coming.
Yay.
Good
Super
tease.
excited. I know, right?
Yeah.
See, now I'm stoked. I don't even know what's coming. I'm excited to see what else is in store. And I know that you are excited too to check out Supercharge, which is only going to be here in just another couple of short days. 2 days. 2 sleeps. Or less, depending on where you live.
Or if you sleep.
Or if you sleep. So there you go. So we are super excited to have shown you Supercharge today. And personally, I'm looking forward to getting a little bit more practice in.
You've got just 2 days.
We've got a couple of days to practice. I don't know about you, but this looks like a team of 3.
Pop quiz. Don't fly off the edge of the map, or do fly off the edge of the map.
If you fly off, fly back on.
Don't.
Good job.
Yay! I got one. Awesome. All right, cool. So we have a couple of days to practice. Y'all have a couple more days to get hype. And until then, we are super looking forward to hanging out with you, playing Supercharge with you in a couple of short days. And why do we do this? For Solus! See you guys.
Dear Diary, you know, when I'm in stealth mode, I secretly watch MentalMars' videos. It's kind of like UPR training, only without all the push-ups and screaming.